I find myself really motivated by challenge, and I think that speaks to who I am as a pastor and how that has become part of my pastoral identity. I came to St. John's United Church of Christ as the pastor about 3 years ago now.
My first impression of Kimberly was that she was very creative. Kimberly was very much a people person and very dedicated to the idea of how community can be transformative.
Lyons is a suburban community just west of Chicago in Cook County. It's a hardworking community, a lot of wonderful people, but it's also an aging population here in our church particularly.
Kimberly has brought a lot of growth and change into the congregation with her leadership by giving us as a church new ways to look at things. We've done collaboration with a lot of the individuals in the Lyons community. We've had plays performed here. We've done musical concerts. As a result, I think we've seen a lot more people come into the church that we hadn't before and that we wouldn't have otherwise.
It's interesting. Transitions are always fraught with challenges, right? Unexpected things that come along. And the biggest challenge we have had with response to the pandemic was worshiping and doing so virtually. We've been able to transition so that we do offer virtual services every Sunday. Because of the fact that we have a primarily aging congregation, it's been somewhat challenging to have virtual services be a meaningful way for the older population of the congregation to engage.
2020 has been a crazy year. Kimberly has adapted wonderfully by moving her worship service online. But the thing I'm most proud about is her desire to move outward into the community. One of the things that we champion is revitalization has to be linked to community needs and responses.
One of the things our revitalization team is looking at is taking leads from the data that we have from Facebook and YouTube and what things people are responding to virtually. And one of the things we've discovered is that we're reaching a whole different demographic of people. So I think there's been a significant advantage in that. We've been forced actually, like many congregations, to adapt. And it's offered us an incredible resource of reaching people and helping them get acquainted with who we are. I think because I had a background working in an academic environment for so long, I have an affinity for emerging adults, young adults, and in a congregation that is struggling with an aging population, it's helpful to have someone who can engage a younger set.
She was something we had never had before as a congregation. We had never had a woman as a pastor before. I think that more and more in our church, we need to see all different kinds of people as pastors, whether they be of different races or sexual orientations or just different genders. Like having a female pastor has been so wonderful. Kim has been a great inspiration.
The challenging question of leadership for this time is not just what it's like to have a female pastor, but what is it like to have a female pastor that also champions social justice? A lot of times, those pastors are not just dealing with the social constraints of their gender, but also what does it mean to be that voice in the wilderness during such a divided time? It is difficult, but she presses on, and for that we are very grateful. And we are so glad the Lilly Grant provides the support that pastors like Kimberly need and appreciate.
The strength that I draw from the community of colleagues around me is significant. You know, being a pastor can feel oftentimes very isolating, but having colleagues to go to talk things through with, to even share concerns with, it's been a tremendous resource for me. And as part of the revitalization efforts, this grant has offered resource for a team of lay leaders within the community, as well as myself as the pastor, to benefit from workshops and collaboration with other neighboring churches, which has been really a tremendous help.
Supporting pastors like Kimberly is key to the church's thriving in the future. Pastors need community, pastors need education, pastors need places to process. Revitalization occurs through the sharing and through the processing together. So that has helped Kimberly, in my opinion, find her own agency and strengthened the church moving forward.